All right. Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, 7:30 a.m. almost, September 3rd. Prices of Bitcoin are jumping down a little bit, down to about 10,900. I think it tapped right around 10,850. And I think just a day or two ago, I had mentioned that this S2 support is down here. So I'm looking to see if we can actually tap that. That would be pretty good. But it's also possible that we don't really get, exactly at that area. Maybe this is it. Personally, I think this is a lot of, untapped liquidity down here. So this is a good sign that price is coming to this area. Although it would have also just been, fine that we, we came all the way down here yesterday and then we just started to float back up and move away from there. That would have been okay too. But just remember that, when price is in a range, right? Depending on what the other participants in the market are thinking of what may be soon to come, if you will, or how they're preparing to hedge their positions. Maybe there could be an ensuing sell-off in the stock market or gold, or the dollar is going to spike up. The thing is, the professionals are always trying to de-risk or hedge their portfolios as best they can. Okay, their job is not to get the maximum amount of returns. It's to protect their capital, and it's to ensure that their tail risk is always protected. And so when you see sell-offs like this, right, it doesn't necessarily always mean that from here we have to dump down, nor does it mean from here we have to pump up. Now it's really up to the bigger players in the market. They're going to be, trying to figure out or decide if BTC is going to trade in this range for a little bit until the traditional markets figure out what the heck is going on. Because you can see even the ES, this is 3 consecutive 4-hour candles of selling, right? So even the ES, has been selling off overnight. Now, if we check the DXY, I would be certain that it ticked up a little bit. Yeah, so as you can see, it has ticked up a little bit, but it's possible that, over here, maybe it turns back around. Who knows, right? Because the fact of the matter is, on the daily time frame, if we're looking at the DXY, it's kind of still trapped in this kind of descending trend line. But what I'm also seeing is this descending, broadening wedge that I see created. Okay, something like that. And so when there's a descending, broadening wedge, at the bottom like this, okay, well, the chances are high that it pops up higher. Okay, so this is another thing that you want to keep in mind is, okay, so it's possible that this thing is creating a larger pattern and then we might pop up from here. Not necessary that we definitely will, but it's something to keep an eye on. Same thing with the ES, it's pulling back a little bit. I think gold pulled back overnight too. Let me see here. It's a gold pulled back overnight too. I think we were maybe over here at some point yesterday when I visited the chart, or actually I guess we were over here, and then we dumped, some more, right? So it makes sense that Bitcoin is dumping with gold, with the ES, and with the dollar that's spiking up, okay? But again, we're tapping this area of liquidity right here, so we'll see. Exactly if the bulls can kind of help support the price. Okay, so now you're seeing a bit more of a sell-off. Okay, so I think we just tapped. There you go. So that's the tap on the S2, right? We can see it live. Now, this is where you really have to step up. This is where, you want support to come in. At the very, very most, it has to be like the S2 right here, which is the previous S2 around 10,720. If not, I don't know. It could be going down much further. We'll see. So yeah, we can see it selling off further and further. So it hit the S2 now. Okay, so now it should either spike back up. If not, we're probably going to dump down further. Okay, now let's take a look at the oscillators, right? So 4 hour, I mean, heavily oversold. Okay. OBV is definitely ticking down. Okay. But here's something very interesting. All right. If you look on the OBV right here, okay. So this, whoops, this OBV right now is creating a much lower low with a higher low on the OBV oscillator. Okay, this is technically bullish. I'm not saying it has to be bullish, but I'm saying that as it stands right now, this is technically bullish. It's the same thing as a CVD, you know, bullish divergence, right? So let's check out trading light. Okay, check out trading light, see how that's doing, and let's see if we spot a CVD bullish divergence. Okay, so I'm not. Let's go to 4 hour. No, I don't see any bullish divergence. You can see this is a lower low right here, and it's definitely a lower low in CVD as well. Right? I mean, let me see from the Coinbase perspective. Yeah, I mean, Coinbase, it's a little bit different because, you know, there's still a whole lot of spot buying that seems to be occurring. So it's possible that, you know, as derivatives are getting sold off, spot might be buying. I also don't know about this CVD thing. This thing has not moved, so I don't even know if it's working properly. But let's check out another exchange, right? Bitfinex, that's a big one. Lots of volume there. Even Bitfinex, there's no bullish divergence. So bullish divergence on the CVD, guys, is what you want to see is, you know, a lower low like that, and you kind of want to see a higher low in CVD. But that's obviously not the case. What we're really seeing is heavy selling take place. Okay, so this sell-off could probably, I don't know, go in for the morning, maybe even the end of the day. I have no idea. But, you know, as you very well know, we're kind of prepared for this whole range anyway. This is why I didn't dive in heavy into my long position, because I didn't want to average down into a losing position. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out at 10,500, which is down here, which is also below the S3. You know, so if we're going below that, well, shit, we might as well go to the S5 down here, you know, which is like $9,900 or some change right there, right? Let's check out Link, because I do have some buys on Link. You know, I told y'all that Link was going to come between $12 and $10, and even in this thing right here, it looked a bit uncertain, but this is, you know, unfortunately, this is how the markets work, right? They'll take advantage of crises or, you know, unfortunate opportunities like a Bitcoin sell-off and utilize that to take liquidity from other assets like Link. So you're seeing these two areas tapped. The final area left is down here. Okay. After that, all my orders will be filled. But then I have like something around, you know, $10 and $11, but I don't know if those are going to get hit. But for now, this looks pretty good. Okay. I think I'm expecting this to at least tap down here, which could be a very good sign. SRM, I know someone mentioned SRM is holding up nicely. Well, it doesn't look like it. Looks like it's selling off with everything else. So yeah, I mean, this looks like a pretty broad market sell-off. Nothing is immune, you know. I do see the Russia flood, and I think what was it? South Korea also had something with like BitThumb yesterday of exchanges, you know. What was it? Exchanges being shut down, something like that. So let's see. This one says Bitcoin miners sold 63% more coins than generated in a day, with yesterday's correction in Ethereum and DeFi tokens also spilling over into Bitcoin. Bitcoin miners sold about $9.5 million in a day. So that's interesting. Let me see here. Binance futures open interest crossed $1 billion in August. Okay, that's old. Yeah, I don't know. nothing else, I guess, to worry about. But I did put this out earlier. So I was talking to Ki Young Ju. He's the CEO of Cryptosomniac again. You know, we were just kind of discussing about these outflows that you're seeing, right? So 650, 590, you know, about another 400 or 500. These are all from your mining pool. So this further confirms what we just read, you know, on TradingView, is miners are actually selling. And this is not necessarily a good sign ever, because miners control a lot of the supply. And when they start selling, well, what they're really doing is they're de-risking, they're taking some profit, and possibly really preparing for maybe, you know, a bear market. Who knows, right? But all that will be visible, in my opinion, in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, with what happens to Bitcoin. Okay. Let me see here. Are there any questions? Let me see. Let me check out some other stuff. Let's check out ETH, right? Yeah, Ethereum's really selling off. Let's see. So if we drag this out, you know, this is really the last bit of support for ETH, in my opinion, before we head down to 375 and then possibly 350. So ETH definitely needs to bounce here. Let's see if it does. And let's do something else. Let's go to the smaller time frames and see if there's any bit of buying activity earning. Let's see if there's any walls popping up. So we're seeing some walls come up around 10,550 to defend this area. That's a, what wall is that? This is Phoenix. So that's a 200 BTC wall. And there's some decent stacked up walls down here, right? 52 buy, 50 buy, another 58 buy. So these are all down from 10,700, you know, down to 10,500. Let's see if other exchanges are stepping up and, you know, they're defending and potentially buying what's being sold. Let's see. Okay, so Binance, nothing really, pretty much open. Let's see, nothing in Coinbase either. Maybe a little bit down here around 10,500. Let's check out BitMEX. Okay, so BitMEX has some, you know, support right here, which is another 10 million, or what is that, 10 or 11 million dollars? Okay, so it's about 9 million right here, right? So some buys set up, you know, for a potential support in BitMEX, in Bitstamp, and some other exchanges. Let's see, FTX I can't look at. Deribit, let's see if Deribit is buying. Deribit is also not buying. Interesting. Okay. Well, we have some decent idea that, you know, selling is going on, right? The only way you can look at this now is, okay, the majority of selling has either occurred right here, or from here, I mean, we're just going to rip right through and just start, you know, straight up dumping. And then, you know, right? Then, you know, you should be looking for a retest. Like if we're really going to dump, okay, I don't think we're just going to go straight down. Like I don't think we're just going to go straight down like this. I would figure that the market is going to give us some opportunity to short, maybe something like that. And then we could short right there, stop right there, or stop up here. And then we just ride this thing down to, I don't know, 9,300, 9,000 flat, maybe even low 8,000s. But again, I'm kind of looking at this still as a range. Do we want to check moving averages? Okay, let's check that out. 1 second. I think I have some moving averages set up. Let's check out the 20 moving average. Okay, so I like using the 20, to be honest, because, you know, this gives me an indication that near term BTC is definitely bearish in a sense, right? Because we've broken below the 20 moving average. We couldn't even hold up above the 20 moving average right here. So it's possible, you know, we have some more selling activity done. So we'll see. Now let's flip this to a 200 because I want to check out where the 200 is. All right, so the 200 moving average is way the hell down here around 9,000 flat. And it's possible that we come back to it. If we come back to that, that means we're taking out a ton of, you know, buyers from here. And if that's the case, I mean, there's a pretty high chance that we're probably going to go down further, you know. I saw this on a log chart, or sorry, not a log, but a linear chart. If I move this line right here, so you can see, you know, on a linear chart, this line is pretty important for us to hold. If we start breaking below this, well, that ain't going to be good. Okay, so, you know, we'll have to see how this candle closes by the end of the day. And yeah, let me see. Okay, so we're also hitting the Kijun line right here. That is also support along with this area right here, which is this trend line, along with, you know, this key liquidity support. So there's a lot happening, guys. And I know price is really volatile right now. So I know you may not be prepared for something like this, but it's happening. You know, if we're really supposed to dump, well, we're probably going to dump. But until then, you know, we have our stops set up. We have everything that we're prepared for. And we just wait and see. Now, if you're looking, if you believe in this range right here and you think that we're going to push out from here, well, this is a solid buying opportunity.
Okay.
Okay. Alternatively, you can wait for price to sort of show us a bounce, show us some strength, you know, on the rebound, or maybe even float around here, create a base, and then if it starts moving up and out, well, that's your longing opportunity. Okay, but until then, you just gotta wait it out. You gotta wait out the bleeding. You gotta wait out and see what gold is doing. You gotta wait out and see what the ES is doing and the dollar. Unfortunately, Bitcoin is always going to be. It's always going to be prone to the heavy movements of what's happening in traditional markets because it's too small of an asset. It's very risky, right? Let's see. So any other questions? Anything else I can answer? Let me see. Let's check out. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Cheers.